We were studying Devarim this couple of weeks, and in Devarim chapter 4, verse 2, have these uh, important words that you should not add or take away from the commandments of God.
Mm, mm.
When we look at the Christian New Testament, uh, would that be construed as adding or taking away from the commandments of God when uh, it appears that the New Testament seems to be somewhat at odds with the Torah?
Somewhat at odds. Are we not? We're being a little delicate here, aren't we? It's not at odds. It's at war with the Torah. And don't quote the Sermon on the Mount to me. It means a man who comes home with lipstick on his shirt, smelling from another woman, and his wife sees that, he could say, I love you to his wife all he wants. She'll know that those words are meaningless. The teachings of the church, it's not just adding, it's undermining, it's assaulting the radical monotheism conveyed in the Torah. Vicarious atonement, the idea that the innocent can suffer to atone for the sins of the wicked, is opposed by the Jewish scriptures. Deuteronomy 4:2, and you'd also find it in Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. In a Christian Bible, it would be Deuteronomy 12, verse 32. It's cut differently for this reason, theological reasons. So the prohibition would be you can't add a commandment and say that you can't add to the book. You can't take away from the message. You can't add. You can't say that God commanded me to do something new that isn't. So Christianity is just such a bad idea. It's hard to know where to begin. But the idea of the Eucharist, I mean, that you should eat the body and drink the blood of the Messiah. And the Eucharist is found in all four Gospels and in 1 Corinthians, in the letters of Paul, which is really old. So it's been there for a while. Like it traces. So that is just grotesque. It's real ritual cannibalism. I'm sort of plucking low-hanging fruit here, but I want to make it easy. That's grotesque. It's not just adding something, but the idea of eating the body. Now, whether it's the way Catholics and Eastern Orthodox believe it, where you're literally eating the body of Christ in the wafer, and it changes what it is. Same with the wine, or whether it's a real presence, as Lutherans believe, it's sort of, or Calvin is, it's symbolic. Whatever, the communion is a grotesque. See, there they do. They take these nice words like communion, and then they use something that is so dishonorable to God, so perverse. So Christianity is even worse. The Torah is simply saying, here's the document, you cannot add a new commandment. That's it. You can't take away. If somebody tells you, you don't have to keep Shabbos anymore, so you know the man is not speaking in the name of God. That's all. Very simple. Someone says you can eat pork, a Jew can eat pork, you know it's a fake religion. You know, if a person says a Jew can eat camel meat, you know it's a fake religion. Right away. You know, if someone says you could speak evil about someone else, you know the man is speaking presumptuously in the name of God. That's all. That's all the text is saying. That no part of the Torah could be nullified, nor could you add to it. Add to it means, is very important. People misunderstand this. A person could say, I don't want to go to this city in Thailand because I know there's a lot of sin in this city. Okay? And I don't want to be tempted. That's fine. But you can't say that God commanded me not to go to this city in Malaysia where there's temptation, in the Philippines where there's temptation, to Las Vegas where there's. So a person could, of course, create boundaries from themselves. In fact, the Torah says, guard my commandments. person could say, I'm going to do something to display my love for God. It's not in the Torah. I'm just not allowed to say that God commanded me to. I can wear a kippah on my head in order to show that I fear God and there's someone above me, right? Which are biblical ideas. I can't say that God commanded me to wear a kippah. He didn't. It's a custom. That you could do. You just can't say that God commanded us on Mount Sinai to do that, or it's in the Torah. You can't do that. So that's what that text means. Christianity is opposed by every prophet of Israel.